Zurich.
Well, Dan Hough is director of the Sussex Centre for the Study of Corruption at the University of Sussex, and he joins me now from Brighton. Good evening to you. Thanks very much for being with us. With the huge amounts of money from sponsorship deals and from TV rights for the World Cup, how difficult is it going to be for the new president of FIFA, whenever he's chosen, to deal with corruption in the organisation?
Well, it may well be that we've done the relatively easy bit, and that is to get rid of Sepp Blatter. But the challenges that the new president will have are manifold. It's worth remembering that he's going to have to get elected in by many people who supported Sepp Blatter. The candidates that you mentioned in your previous footage, people like Michel Platini, have a number of significant, powerful enemies. So we're going to have to wait a little bit of time before we even know who the candidates are for this new position. Ultimately, we need root and branch reform. Whether the new leader is actually capable of showing the dynamism to do that is still very much open to question.
Yeah, I mean, did you at the centre at Sussex look into corruption at the IOC? Have you looked into that in the past?
Well, we've looked into corruption in a number of different settings, in companies, in governments, and in international organisations. And there are a number of things that really stand out time and time again as being important in reforming organisations like the IOC and like FIFA. Two buzzwords, transparency and accountability, come to the fore. FIFA is going to have to swallow its pride. It's going to have to let the forensic accountants in. It's going to have to allow people to pass judgment on it. It needs external oversight of all of its procedures. And up until now, FIFA has simply never been willing to do that. Now, one would hope that with a new start comes new thinking, but I'd hold fire on that for a moment. There's a long way to go in this story, and it's worth remembering that there are a lot of people with a lot of vested interest within FIFA who supported Blatter, who still support Blatter, who will be resistant to change.
Is it surprising to you that there hasn't been more pressure in the past from big international sponsors, as well as individual football associations, to become more transparent, and that in fact, you know, we had a ticking time bomb really that has exploded now?
Well, I think it's easy to overlook the fact that FIFA's been really successful. FIFA's generated huge funds. Sepp Blatter has been very clever in diverting them to significant parts of the developing world, in Asia, in Africa, and they've supported him for it. That they've known there are corruption problems. This is nothing new to FIFA delegates. But while the money kept flowing, while FIFA kept supporting them, that they saw no reason not to support Blatter and those around him. The sponsors are in a similar position. This is a good deal for them. And it was always going to take an awful lot for sponsors to break rank and openly criticise Sepp Blatter and his supporters. And even now, sponsors are cagey. They're waiting to see how things develop. And the investigations in both Switzerland and the United States, which are two quite distinct investigations, have got a long way to go. So I think sponsors will be just waiting to see where they go before making too many definitive statements.
Very interesting. Dan Hough there at the University of Sussex. Many thanks, Dan. Thank you.